Hey everybody, it's Tim and Nancy Danter coming to you. Thanks for tuning in. This week in our chat with Ryan, he's going to tell us some really interesting information you're not going to want to miss out, and how not to get caught up on the social comments that we see about investing in stocks and crypto. It's really, really important, so stay tuned. And remember, if you like this channel, you like this information, subscribe and hit the like button because Hi Rye has got some great information this week. Here we go. Hey everybody, it's Tim and Nancy here. We're got Ryan from out west. How's it out there, Ryan?
It's not as cold as yesterday, but summer's closer every day. So I just want winter to be done with and to move on. But not too bad out here today. Not too bad.
Good. Well, thanks for taking the time again. This is sort of becoming a weekly thing, which is great because it keeps us both in check. And we have the odd quick chat during the week, but this is sort of the Sunday edition of Week in Review, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we've been watching you. We watch your videos, and man, it's incredible the knowledge you have in motivating people, but not only that, but just how you do your research in stocks, and like it's almost like you were a stockbroker in a past life.
Yeah. Funny enough though, I probably take a more basic approach than 90% of the people out there who consider themselves day traders. It's only a very few numbers that I actually kind of really consider. Like I want a low enough PE ratio every time. Anything above 30 usually kind of freaks me out a little bit. Just chart patterns, psychological triggers with resistance and supports, and pretty much the news and political climate based on the industry. And with that, you can pretty much generate a pretty decent view of any company or whatever in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So I tend to take a little bit, because there's the bigger you deep into something, deeper you dig into something, I find you can second guess yourself, or you'll find a million reasons to get in something that might not even make sense. So I try not to spend too much time actually focus on it. If it makes sense in the first 15 minutes kind of thing with just the basic numbers and how the chart's looking, it's usually something that I'll keep my eye on. And then, yeah.
So I guess that's the question would lead me into is when you're doing your research on these stocks, like you may have something that catches your eye, you may get some information from whatever, right? Does price of the stock matter to you? So what I mean by that, would a stock that's like trading at $70 turn you off an investment versus something that is a penny stock or around reasonable low double digit stock?
So that's actually a really great question. It applies so much to the people on your channel, my channel, anyone who's doing this challenge. Because I think psychologically, whether you like it or not, I mean, because all that matters at the end of the day is the percentage gain. So I shouldn't really be concerned if it's a $2 stock or a $100 stock, because I'm still going to own $100 of that $2 stock. So at the end of the day, I think it's a total psychological thing that people, especially when you are starting with just spare change in small amounts, you're gravitating toward those cheaper stocks naturally without even thinking about it. But as this channel's progressed, I am less and less afraid of getting into stocks that have a higher price tag. Even just in the stock picks I've generated from the very first ones to now promoting $25 to $30, $40 stocks, stuff like that. I think psychologically, starting with such a small amount of money, all of us probably want to get as much shares as possible, when at the end of the day, it's really about a percentage gain. So it's not affecting me as much anymore as I'm getting further into the challenge. But I think if people starting out, I think it's a natural tendency to gravitate towards cheaper stocks, even though they'll soon realize it's all about percentage gains. But I think I'm getting more and more comfortable with bigger ticket item stocks for sure.
So we watch each other's videos. We sort of we definitely have a rooting section, between us and Ryan, and we've got each other's backs and all this and that. So we read each other's comments. Facebook, there's the WealthSimple trade, whatever you call it, group page or whatever, and every single post seems to be giving a different opinion about a stock and all this information. And to someone who doesn't know a lot about stocks, wants to get their money in the game, that can really mess them up, can't it? Because they're getting too much information that's not validated. What's your opinion on that?
Well, actually, on my last video, I posted just a little snippet. It was a news article at 45% of all trades on TSX in January were retail investors. So that could be a good thing. It can also be a really bad thing. But what it tells me, though, is that way too many people are taking, like, the amount of people that ask me and almost expect me to pick their portfolio for them, and they've never met me before in their life. And, you know, we are trying to do good picks and have a good channel, but there are way too many people trying to ride that GameStop train that is already so far dead, but some people are still trying to hop on this train. And that's why I was saying I don't like when anything I pick, if it's ever on this Wall Street bets, that's a really, really crappy thing for me. I don't want anything to do with it. So yeah, sorry, it's tough in that sense, but yeah, no,
and I think
tough.
you and I talked about this early on. I'm actually very afraid of the stock market right now, like extremely afraid of the stock market, which is why I found the crypto world so attractive, because to me that made more sense. It was like digital gold. So it was almost like I feel good about saving. I'm saving the money in the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin itself is growing in value and it's earning interest. I don't understand what's happening on the stock market. I don't understand it just feels like, I mean, I understand it in principle. We've pumped a lot of liquidity into the market. There's been a lot of additional money been handed out to people, which I think the government thought was just to help them make ends meet. I think a lot of people took that and then they boosted up the stock market, but they were buying stuff that didn't make sense to me. Like certain things make sense to me. We've bought Enbridge. We sit in Enbridge because people need that energy. They need to have that energy to run their homes. So that makes sense to me. And even if the stock market goes down, we're still going to need Enbridge. But some of the other stuff, like when Hertz Rent-A-Car was through the roof in price, but they weren't renting cars to people.
Bankrupt.
They were bankrupt, and their stock went through the. I'm like, this whole thing with the stock market scares the bejeebies out of me. So when you're picking your stocks, are you thinking about that kind of a thing?
Well, yeah, I would, like, for instance, any one of my picks, if it is being pushed on Wall Street Bets or anything like that, or Reddit, it's not going to be a pick. So I don't want it to, like, even though full well, you know, we could day trade and ride that up and sell it at the end of the day. I don't want anything to do with it. So if it's anything tied, like if I hear that kind of publicity with something I'm interested in, I'm out before I even get going on the charts and looking at. I don't even waste my time. And the reason I pick a few of the things that I pick, though, you know, whether people agree with it or not, I don't think, and especially in economic downturns, you know, just like booze companies tend to do better in an economic downturn. I believe the same of the cannabis industry right now. So even if I feel like, you know, and then there's the lithium side of things where everything's going, like, I'm trying to place myself where I think it's an emerging area, but no, the second people start pushing these penny stocks through the roof and engaging like that on Facebook with stocks that are trading for 7 cents and have been in action for 11 years and have produced nothing, like should give your head a shake kind of thing. And you know, with hundreds of comments, people asking me, I tried to respond, but I can't respond to everybody. But it just goes to show, though, that people can be manipulated pretty easily into buying these things. So it gives, you know, there's going to be a lot of money to be made on a crash, as there always is. If you position yourself right, you're either going to make the money or you're going to be the ones who lose and give up me all the money. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try and position myself that way, but there's going to be a lot of winners and there's going to be a lot of losers. And unfortunately, retail investors like us are going to be the losers. And it's because a lot of people aren't playing it smart and they're making portfolio picks off of a Facebook meme. You know what I mean? So it's, yeah, I don't like hearing about my stocks on Facebook at all.
I just look at this stuff and I look at it and I look at all the posts on Facebook and stuff like that. And I think, oh boy, I really hope some people are not just, oh, it's on Facebook, it must be a good thing, and going and putting money that they really need in other parts of their life into that investment, because if they don't monitor it, or if they, you know, overnight, because don't forget, here's one of the big differences between the crypto world and the stock world. You only have access to stocks when the stock market's open.
Yeah.
Well, it continues to trade overnight. So if it goes down, I'm pooched at 3 a.m. in the morning, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With cryptocurrency, a little bit of a different story because you can access that 24/7 in most cases, right? Except if it's an ETF or something like that. So I
Yeah.
mean, it scares me sometimes. Like it just,
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
either side of the coin, crypto or stocks, you've got all kinds of risks involved and you got all kinds of perks involved.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one thing is certain. Obviously, the correction will come. So the big issue is just going to be how do you position yourself with it. And now I'm looking at it with a sense of optimism. I actually, I'm not afraid of a dip at all. I'm positioning cash in a certain way. But for instance, all of the people who were able to take advantage between March 10th and the end of March have a lot of money in their pockets. And I was actually, sounds crazy, but when I was day trading, I owned like 9 shares of Tesla when it was at $180. And this is pre-split. So it would have been like 40 shares. But this is the stupidness, like I'll never forget, but that's the stupid mistakes you make when you're day trading and you're just pumping and listening to like comments. Like that is how much money would I have? You know what I mean? Like the stupid mistakes. So I'm trying to position myself for the market. One, I fare okay, hedge it with crypto, and then have a cash reserve so that there's an opportunity to take advantage of our second March kind of thing, and put some of the money back in our pockets, because there was a lot of rich investors that heavy hitters that took advantage of what happened in March because they had the cash flow to take advantage of it. Yep. Little guy didn't really, but knowing that it's coming now and knowing that it will 100% come, it's a really incredible opportunity. I think if people position themselves properly and associate cash a little bit better. But I think it's an opportunity depending on how you look at it, but it's definitely coming for sure.
Well, there's a saying, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what you got to kind of watch. So let me ask you a question. This week, between when we talked last week, what's the best thing that's happened to you?
Yeah.
For the stock picks
Anything.
or
personal,
okay.
whatever, or something that you saw in a comment from one of the subscribers. Like what has been, if you had to say this has been the highlight of my week, this was it. What would it be?
I think honestly the highlight. Well, so the growth when you get certain milestone emails from YouTube as things come in and stuff like that. I got an email, not that I couldn't see it with my own eyes, but just the email highlighting some of the comments. And I've also started realizing that these comments, I'm not doing as many giveaways, but they're coming in extremely naturally. They're bugging me to tell them what I did on the weekend, as opposed to just telling me what they did on the weekend. I think the best thing right now is the genuine growth. And then like my last video that I posted, recorded today, but posted when you see this a few days ago, gave that history of who I am kind of thing. And the responses this morning, amazing. It's lifting people up. I would say the best thing this week is definitely the comments all day long. And the growth that comes along with it is amazing, obviously, but it's the comments all day long. People seem to actually, and it's funny because there's a few people in there that have been commenting since day one, but they're like making friends with other commenters and they're like repeatedly getting into conversations with each other. And it's like, you guys don't know, like no one actually knows each other. So it's nice. It's really nice feeling to bring it back. And then, stock wise, it was a good week, but at the same time, no, comments is where it's been at this week for sure.
I think you've hit that on the head, because it is what we do by doing these challenges, by doing these channels, is we engage a community, and everyone that belongs and subscribes to the channel becomes part of a community family, and you can have frank discussions or you can voice your opinions, and it's kind of neat. It's just that social aspect of it.
And I've got about 7,000 subscribers ish right now, and it seems like kind of a big number, but it's
a big number.
I would say though that my YouTube channel, and I'm not trying to toot the channel's horn or anything, but is probably one of the most close-knit channels I've actually ever seen on YouTube. And with respect to, like, I see people with 100,000 subscribers who might get 50 comments, whereas I'll have 7,000 and I'll get 800 comments in a day, 70 emails, people wishing me well, sending me pictures of their dogs and their kids. It's like, this is probably, honestly, I 100%, I get the email, and that's the thing. I try to respond. It's hard though, but the community, I would honestly, I've never expected a YouTube community to even have the potential to feel like this tight as this one does feel. And even your channel, it's tight. Like there's people know each other in the comments section. There's no negativity, almost like they know that they're done. Because and my channel, and just in case anyone's curious, but if there's ever a negative comment, you're hidden from the channel. You don't need it, and you're never going to see a video again because you just don't need the negativity. And I haven't had to do that really. So it's like, it's such a tight community. That's amazing. That's the amazing part of it. Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe we would have a little fun. Are you up for a little fun?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So what you'll know about us is we like to have a little, we're goofy. So this is, so I thought we would, because we're all about increasing our financial knowledge and understanding. So part of what I found in some of the comments that we've seen is that people just don't know, and they're too afraid to raise their hand and say, I don't know. Like, I know I don't know. That's what I made that one video about, the difference between being bearish on something and being bullish on something. The way to remember it is bulls, their horns go up like this. So that means if somebody says they're bullish, that means that they believe that the stock or the currency is going to go up. And bearish, bears swipe their paws down when they're mad, swipe down. So that means they believe it's going to go down. So I didn't realize that a lot of people didn't understand that term. I thought it was just me.
Do you know what they do if they get in fear? They poop.
Why did you bring that up? That makes sense. Anyway, but what I thought we would do is we would have a little game of just some of these terms like bull and bear, and we'll do a little thing. So whoever can say what it is first, and if neither of you know what it is, we're gonna leave it so that the audience or the viewers can leave it in the comment section if they know what it is. If you guys don't know what it is, then we'll leave it in the comment section.
And if this doesn't work, there's always the game of virtual hide and go seek.
Why do you always have to be a downer? Okay, all right. So these are abbreviations from the Regulatory Commission. So I'm just giving you the heads up. So SEC.
SEC, Security Exchange Commission. Yeah.
Is that what it is? SEC?
Security.
Oh, yeah,
SEC.
Security Exchange. Yeah,
what do you think I said?
SEC.
SEC.
Oh.
Securities Exchange Commission. Okay. How about FTC?
No clue.
Financial Trade Commission?
You're close, Tim.
I have no idea.
Federal Trade Commission. This is just so that when you're watching
close.
the YouTube videos and they're saying these terms, then at least we know.
As if we use these terms. Well,
no, but they say these things. Okay, I will.
It's like I need a green tutu.
Okay, we talked about this earlier, in either Ryan's video or our video. FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Okay, here's one. DYOR.
Do your own research?
Yeah!
I nailed it.
Ding, 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 ding. Too bad we weren't better with graphics. We'd have 1-0.
Okay, this is an important one. FUD.
Oh, it's U is uncertainty.
Yes.
Fear, uncertainty, and disappointment, or darn it? Doubt.
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
FUD.
Comes up in these videos we watch. KYC.
No clue. No. Oh, wait. No. Oh, yeah. No, we just, know your customer. Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Know your customer. Oh, here's a good one. TLT.
TLT?
Think long term. Okay.
One more. It's getting dark out.
Oh, that one's too difficult.
As if the other ones have been easy?
Oh, AMA. It's a good one for you, Ryan. It's a good one for you.
It's something moving average.
Ask me anything.
Oh, Okay, yeah, missed that one.
Okay, and this one we'll leave this one because I'm sure he doesn't know, and I'm pretty sure you don't know either. I didn't know until I read it.
She's
now.
okay to insult me, but don't insult the guest.
Well, okay, and let's see if the people will leave it in the comment.
So we won't answer this. You won't give the
We
answer.
won't. I'm not going to answer this. We'll answer this next week on next week's.
You gonna write it down?
No, you're going to remember. Lambo.
Lambo?
Lambo. Lambo. It's an acronym. So I'm assuming, Ryan, you don't know what that means.
No.
Tim, do you know what it means?
It's probably in the same family as limbo.
Well, hopefully one of our viewers will put a comment and leave a comment on this.
I can see them Googling as they're watching this.
Literally, that's what they're doing right now.
That's
Guaranteed.
okay.
Anyway,
That's okay.
anyway, Ryan, we really appreciate this second weekly update. It's always great to catch up with someone who's on the same page as us and has the good morals and the good community sense and the good social sense. And folks, we will be doing this weekly, Sundays. And for those of you who want to get the stock aspect of it and all those terms, you tune into and subscribe to Hi Rye. That's Ryan's channel. And he has some really progressive stuff that he does there. And our channels are kind of different in the approaches we take. And that's kind of why we get along so well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, have a great week, Brian, and we'll talk to you next week.
You too. Bye, guys.